Okay, I just thought I would get some set up here. Try this a little bit. Okay, welcome back to my channel. I am going to do, this is only my second square diamonds that I'm doing. And I'm working on a my military boot painting. Because I did a lot of Christmas, so I thought, well, let's try something different. And I just want to do this whip and chat and talk a little bit about some things and a little bit about me and maybe some funny things. First I want to talk about is I hope everybody has a very, very great Christmas. Mine is not going to be so great, but I will make the best of it. That's all I can do. And the reason why is my dad was a big part for Christmas. He loved Christmas. And we always got together as a family and did things and had lots of food. I remember all of us in the kitchen and preparing food before Christmas, all the goodies and everything. And we this great big table and put all the leaves in it, and it was just huge. A big setting of food for everybody, and family would come over. And my Aunt Leanne and my cousin Cindy, that would be Leanne's daughter, would come over, and some of the Holt side, on my dad's side, would come. Excuse my cat, I think he's got a hairball, and he would just have to do that now. Yuli, and get off my painting. Get. Okay, I had to shoo him out. He was on my other diamond painting that is laying somewhere, and he shouldn't be in there. Okay, so this is not starting out well. You have to excuse me, this is only my second video. But anyway, about Christmas. At Christmas time, there was a thing that we always did. My dad had a metal detector, and we were metal detecting, and he found this great big piece of lead, just thick. And it had holes drilled in it and stuff to make sure, see what it was, and well, it started to be a gag gift. And every year, somebody new would pass that on. Whoever got it would pass it on and re-gift it to somebody. Well, after my dad died, we don't know what happened to that piece of lead. I don't know where it went and who got it last. But it was really funny to get this piece of lead. My dad thought that was just hilarious. And we would play games, and all the ladies would get around and play games and play cards and stuff. The guys would be watching football, of course. So, and everybody loved to joke. Everybody picked on each other or joked around, and everybody would laugh. That's just the way it was, and it still is. We've always been this way. And I remember as a kid, me and my brother used to torture my mother. Like, really bad. We would do such mean pranks to her, but we thought they were hilarious. I don't think she did. But she never got mad. She laughed. So, I don't know where we got it from, but I think I know where I get my humor from. I think it's from my mother and my mother's side. Because they're just crazy. And my mom, I can get her to do anything with me. Any kind of joke or anything, and we laugh and love to pull stuff off. I love to make people laugh. And have a good time. And I'm still like that. But things have kind of changed. When I was 29, I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue. And I couldn't figure out why I could not stay awake at work. It was ridiculous. And I was so tired. And here I had mono and never even knew it. So they told me they did the blood test and found that Epstein-Barr virus in me. So, and I've always been sick as a kid. I have a very weak immune system. I get sick at a drop of a dime. I'm sick right now. I think I have this cough and it keeps driving me nuts, so you have to excuse my voice and if I cough. But it's really driving me crazy, and I think it's bronchitis, and usually when I get that, it turns into pneumonia. So I'm not too happy about that, but trying to make the best of things. Trying to figure out what to do, because me and the kids, since my kids grown up, all three of them, they all have children and, you know, other families and stuff, and it's hard, you know. We want to have something here for my kids to come to, but my husband's like, but we don't have any gifts, you know. I said, you know, the main thing isn't the gifts, it's being together and laughing and playing games and the food. I think that's what Christmas is about, is just family being together. It's not about the gifts. But, you know, and we usually do get the gifts, you know, like in January, because we're on a very, very tight income. I'm not able to work, and I keep getting denied for Social Security, because I have also gotten a car accident after I got diagnosed with mono, or chronic fatigue at the time. I ended up having a car accident a year later, and it kicked in the fibromyalgia. So I'm dealing with that. And I've always kind of dealt with depression, but I never had it where it just hung on forever. But I guess that's kind of due to your fibromyalgia. You get all these other things with it. And it's like, fibromyalgia's bad enough. Why do I have to have more illnesses along with this? It's not fair. So the depression kicked in because I can't do things I used to do. I used to be a perfectionist. I had OCD. I was always on the go. I did everything I could for anybody. I was always there. My family could always count on me and know I'd be there to help them. Well, things have changed. And it took them a long time to understand that my body just doesn't function like it used to. I can't do a lot of things I used to do. And it's really depressing, because I love to go out and have fun with my friends and go to the bar and dance and, you know, hang out with my kids and do funny things and make them laugh, and everything changed. So I got really depressed, because there's nothing they could do for me. So and then I have insomnia on top of that, so it's really hard to sleep because I can't get comfortable, and I have anxiety. So I feel like I have a war going on in my brain. You know, it's hard because you're depressed already, and then you have this other person in your head with anxiety about, oh, you gotta do this and that, and you should do this and that, and then it's like, oh, your body's telling you this. So it's like you have three people. I have me, I have the depression, and then I have the anxiety. And it's like a war goes on inside me, in my head. And it puts me in a bad state where I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to get out of bed. I just want to sleep so I don't have to think or do anything. And then the anxiety kicks in. And right now the depression and anxiety is really bad because of December and November. And this year I lost 2 people in our family. I lost my brother-in-law in July. He passed away July 9th, a day before my sister's birthday, which is his wife. And that was her best friend. I mean, I would love to have a marriage like they had. It was, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I can't think. My mind is kind of all over the place. And then December 13th, my aunt, which is my mom's sister, passed away. And I have the guilt that I didn't go see her when she was still alive. Even though I wanted to, I just couldn't get there. It was either the anxiety or the depression, or I hurt. And I know it's not an excuse, but when you're fighting something like this, it's not easy. Nobody can tell you snap out of it. Just go anyway. You'll be fine. And it's like, no, I won't. The anxiety gets so bad, my heart races. I start sweating. I can't stop sweating. And I don't like crowds anymore like I used to. I used to love to go up and just talk to anybody. I could talk to anybody. I still can now because I know that they're not going to judge me because they don't know me. And I always feel like I'm being judged because I'm not the old Angie anymore. And it's hard for people to understand. And I get that, where it's like, I really should go and stuff, but ever since my dad's funeral, and that was 27 years ago, he passed away in 92 on November 5th. I didn't even want to go to his wake. I didn't want to go to his funeral. I didn't want to deal with that. And after doing that, now it's like I go to wakes to say my goodbyes, but I cannot handle going in a church with people sobbing and crying. And if songs were played that were played at my dad's funeral, I lose it. And I don't like feeling like I'm reliving it again, I should say. Now I'm starting to tear up. My Aunt Leanne was always like a second mother to me. I could always talk to her about anything. She was always upfront, honest with me. She's helped me in so many ways, and she's been there for me so much. And it's really hard. It's hard when you lose someone that was not your mother, but was close to it. And she was just the best person. Excuse me. It was really hard when my brother-in-law passed away too, because he could always make me laugh. He was always funny and loved to play jokes, and I would do it right back. It was always back and forth. And I miss them both dearly. Even though I went to my brother-in-law's wake to say goodbye and to be there for my sister. Because I know she's going through a really, really hard time. And we've been really distant for years. Because it's hard, because I'm stuck in the middle of this. And I better just say it now that this video is not for kids. This is adult talk only. This is nothing kids should listen to in here. So if you are under 18, leave this whip and chat, because it's very emotional. And it's not for you, it's for adults only. But I'm stuck in this tug of war for years with my family not getting along with my husband. And he's not invited to things, and and he's been through hell and back lately, the last few years. So I always have to choose between my husband or going to family things alone without him with my kids. And I felt bad for him. So I stopped going to things because of that. And when he was in a coma back in 2006, and they didn't know if he was going to make it or not. They wouldn't even give him a 50-50 chance. And it was so emotional, and my family was not there for me. When I was going through all this, I was alone. And he made it through. He's very lucky. I had difficult choices to make for him because I was his wife, and I had to do things and make decisions while he was there. And I think my decisions paid off because he's still here. And he had to go to the nursing home and everything, and they when he was able to come home, he was on oxygen because he only has like 30% of his lungs left. The rest is pretty much scarred up. And he was so determined he was not going to be attached to that thing, and he was going to do everything that they said he wouldn't be able to do. And he proved them all wrong. And he did. But the only thing is while he was in his coma and the lack of oxygen he got before they, put the trach in him and everything, he got more brain damage. And I look at it as it changed him to be a more calmer person, a better person. Then later on, a few years later, he ended up having very high blood sugars, and he did end up having a heart attack. And while they had him up there, they had to put a stent in his heart because he had 98% blockage in his widowmaker. So he was very lucky that he was there at that time and this happened, because otherwise we would have never known, and he could have had a heart attack and been gone just like that, because the widowmaker is a big part that you don't want to have blocked. And he made that through. A few years later, he was helping a guy with fixing on a house, putting siding on and stuff. He was up on scaffolding with 2 other guys. The scaffolding fell, and he fell. They were able to grab on to something. He was in the middle. He had nothing to grab. He fell and broke his arm up in here and has plates in it. He also broke his fibia way up in his leg and in his hip, so he's got rods in his hip area, down in his leg. And thank God nothing, he didn't hit his head to cause any more brain damage. And he recovered from that, but now he walks funny. He has a lot of pain. And it's been, what, 2 years, I think? No. But yeah, his brother said, he's like a cat. He's got 9 lives. And he's stubborn, and he's not going to quit. He's just going to keep going. And I find that amazing and strong in him, that he does not ever give up. And he has been a diabetic since he was 8 or 11 years old. He's a type 1 diabetic. So he's been in comas as a child and had to relearn math and reading and stuff like that all over again. So he's had a couple incidences with the brain damage. So, but I still love him. And I know he's going through a lot. We're both struggling with finances because it's hard for me to work, and we only have his Social Security to live off of. And it's not easy. And I want to go to work so bad and make money. It's not even funny. I really do. I miss working. But my body gets, when I get stressed out, it causes more problems. And right now, in the wintertime, I struggle so bad with depression. And I had to go to my doctor, and he had me do this, fill out this paper stuff, about my depression and everything, and then they score it and come back, and he's like, what happened? He goes, you were doing so good and stuff. I said, I wasn't great, but I was doing better than what I am now. And I said, it takes a lot for me to want to leave my home, leave my bedroom. I don't like being around people. I like being alone. Because that way nobody can see me or judge me, or because I think they do, in my head with this anxiety. I think everybody's looking at me going, saying bad things about me. And I then the depression kicks in, thinking, yeah, you're right, Anxiety, I am. I'm a terrible person. People are talking about me because I'm just awful. You know, she don't work. She don't come to family things. She, just things. And I get that going through my head. And then I can't sleep. And I have insomnia so bad. And I'm not kidding when I say the depression's bad. Because with my dad passing away in November, and December is his birthday, my aunt passing away, my brother-in-law passing away, I have a grandson that was born on the day my dad passed away. His name is Leo. He's 2 now. And my daughter, Jessica, that had Leo, we got into a spat, and I don't know, I don't think it was my fault, but she's very sensitive. And maybe I did say something wrong. Maybe it was my fault. I don't know. But I have witnesses, that saw what happened, and they said it wasn't my fault. But I don't have my daughter in my life right now. I still have my son and my other daughter, my oldest daughter, and my son still in my life. Thank God. And I have 5 grandchildren all together. And when she told me that, my daughter Jessie told me that I would never get to see Leo ever, and he would never know about me, that really, really hurt. And I've tried to reach out to her, but she's probably very hurt, and she is very stubborn, and she's very sensitive, and she takes things the wrong way. So I haven't seen him since he was a baby, and I think the last time I saw him was maybe he was like 6 months old. And I played with him, and I stayed at my daughter Ashley's house. And Jessie was staying there because she was going to work there, so Ashley was babysitting him while she worked, and I got to spend a lot of time with him. And he walks bow-legged, so he reminds me of a cowboy. And my dad always had to have Western shirts, cowboy boots when he went out. He dressed country all the time. He was born out in South Dakota, I believe. And they came to Minnesota. I think they even lived in North Dakota. Oh, excuse me. So, he had the cowboy hat. He, cowboy all the way. Always. So I look at Leo and I think, oh my gosh, he reminds me of my dad. He was born on the day my dad passed away, and it's like, maybe that's my dad, part of my dad in him. I don't know. But enough with the sad stuff. I'll tell you a little bit about something that was just, it was crazy. It's funny. But, don't you think that children know their parents' names and everything? Well, my dad's name was Arnold. Everybody called him Arnie. Okay, so we get this phone call, and this guy keeps calling and asking for Raymond. Well, my grandfather's name is Raymond. And I told him, and he lived in Stuart too. There was quite a few of my dad's family that lived right in Stuart, not far from each other either. We were pretty close, so I got to grow up with my aunts and uncles and cousins real close by, and it's a small little town in Stuart, Minnesota. And so this phone, they kept calling. I said, you got the wrong number. So I tell them the number to call, and my dad was home. And all of a sudden, the phone rings again. I answer because my dad hated answering the phone because it was never for him. You know, always crabby. Angie, telephone. He gets so upset because he had to answer the phone because I'd be upstairs while the phone was downstairs. The old phones, you know, the ones that hang on the wall or sit down and you can push the buttons or dial, yeah. And at that time we even had the party line, so sometimes couldn't use the phone because other people were using the line. But this guy kept calling. Finally my dad said, who is calling? I said, they keep calling here for Raymond, and I keep telling them they need to call the other place, your dad, you know, Grandpa. And he goes, give me that phone. I was like, he was all mad at me, and I'm like, what? Well, when he got off the phone, he goes, my name is Raymond, damn it. And I just looked down and I said, no, it's not. I said, how can you just change your name? I said, your name's Arnold. He goes, that's my middle name. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yes. He goes, my real name is Raymond Arnold Jr. And my mom was like, he hated the name Raymond because he didn't like to be called that after his dad, you know. Well, I didn't know. I thought my dad's name was Arnie. And here I am, 12 years old, finding out that my dad's name is not Arnie or Arnold. That's his middle name. His real name is Raymond. So that guy called 4 times and I kept doing it. Oh, well. Lesson learned. But it's like, well, don't you think you should tell your daughter your real name and not lie about what your name is? So I asked my mom, and goes, is your name really Marlene? I don't know. Maybe it ain't. I says, my name really Angie? You know, I was questioning everything because it's like, I want to get my facts straight. Who's who and what's what. Oh, my mom has always called me Sherry, which is my sister's name, forever. I mean, she told Sherry, go get this. I said, well, Sherry was here. You could tell her to go get it, but she's not here. She goes, you know what I'm talking about. Go get me this or that. That went on for years. I was always Sherry. So it's like, why did you even name me Angie if you're never going to call me that, you know? Gee whiz. So then, when I had my daughter, and as my daughter got older, well, my daughter looks like me. And I don't know. But all of a sudden, I'm Ashley. So I've been Ashley for a long time. And I finally looked at her and said, do you even know my name? And she's like, yes, I know your name. I said, then why did you give me that name at birth if you're never going to call me that? She goes, your dad named you. I said, so what, you're mad so you don't want to call me that name or what? She's just, I had her going, you know, and I was just like, well, I just want to know. Tell me. Oh, yeah. It's been weird. Well, there's a couple other funny things that kind of happen. My dad, I love to be with my dad and hang out with him, go drive out in the country, listen to country music all the time on the radio, go fishing. Oh, then we have some fishing stories, but I will tell them at a different time that were hilarious. My dad was something else. Oh. But anyway, he always, it's like nobody else was around. Sherry wasn't around, and my brother wasn't around, so, well, Angie, come help me. It's like, what? Tell me, he was working on putting a new light switch in the bathroom. Well, he told me, you stay here and watch and let me know when the light goes out. Okay, I can handle that. So, my mom was home at the time, too. And I yelled to him, I said, yep, that's the one. So, he came in, out of the porch, came into the bathroom, started taking it all apart with his screwdriver, and oh my word. The electricity wasn't off. There was 2 fuses for that bathroom. And he didn't have that other light on to tell me that, so, well, you can imagine what happened. He hit that electricity, and that screwdriver, he stood there and shook. I mean, shook. And all of a sudden, there's like sparks and flame, little bit of flame coming out, and it's smoke, and it's turning the wall above it black, and he's still hanging on and just jumping around, and I'm like, well, what do I do? And I hid behind Mom. I'm like, oh, he's gonna kill me when he gets out. Oh God, I killed my dad. So I'm scared that I hurt him and killed him. All of a sudden, the electricity just shot him, and he shot back and hit the wall and slid down the wall and landed on his butt and just sat there. He didn't say a word, and he's like, God damn it. I'm just like, ah. So yeah, I almost killed my dad. It was I feel so bad, but I did what he told me to do. It's not my fault. Well, he never forgot that one. Then he built himself a wood splitter, because he wanted a wood furnace because it was cheaper, and they put one in, and he put one in, and we had to cut wood all like summer, fall long. That's all we did on weekends. And my dad goes, I got you a present. And my mom's like, really? So she didn't know what would he get her. Well, he bought her a chainsaw so she could help cut down trees. It's like, what a great gift, So, he's got this wood splitter that he made, and he's telling me, now when it gets to the end, it whistles, it'll start, whistling. You gotta back it off. So we were in the backyard, and I always got stuck running the wood splitter. I don't know why, but I ended up doing it all the time. So we're in the backyard splitting wood, because we had hauled some home. And it was whistling. So I was backing it up, and he's like, no, keep it coming, keep it coming. I'm like, it's whistling. You told me. He's like, just do what I say. Okay. So I kept it going, and I was nervous. So he put his hand on my hand and said, push it. And he pushed the lever. Well, it was whistling. Also, it stopped whistling, and the wood still did not split at the end. It was a hard piece of wood. And the engine, which was backed by me, blew up. And it shot oil up all over and all kinds of stuff. And there we sat, covered in this stuff. And I looked at him, and he's like, you broke my wood splitter. I said, you said, keep it coming, and you were yelling at me, so I did, and look it. I said, I told you, and, well, yeah, but I got blamed for that, too. I got blamed for a lot of things. it was not my control. I did not say, yes, I'm going to just do this. So there we sat. We had to go in the house, all covered in oil, black stuff, and everything else. Blew up his wood splitter. Well, he went and worked on another one, built a bigger one, and a better one. And he's like, I need you to run the wood splitter. I'm like, no. I said, do you remember what happened last time? He's like, I made this Angie proof. I said, you should have made it you proof. I said, because you don't listen. I listen to what you told me, and you just don't want me, you want me to mess up. So he made this wood splitter, and he's like, nope, it's not going to blow up. Well, thank God it never did, but I was scared to run it because I thought, if I break this one, oh my word. Everything I touched that I had to do with him always went wrong. Always. And it's like, quit asking me to help you when you know something's going to go wrong. Absolutely. It's not going to be pretty. And I'm going to be blamed for it. Or I'll probably end up almost killing you again. I just dreaded it when he would yell my name because it's like, oh no, now what? I don't want to do it. Then there was a time my mom in the kitchen, we had mice on our back porch, and once in a while we'd get a mouse, you know. Well, we got one in the house, and we had rat poisoning down, mice poisoning, all that, you know, traps out on the porch, but not in the house. Well, this mouse came out from underneath the door that goes to the basement, and he went underneath the stove in the kitchen. Well, while my dad and them were gone, I think Dad was out fishing again. He fished every single day. Any chance he got, he was fishing. That's what we did as kids. That was my favorite pastime. Is we learned how to fish, and then my dad taught us how to clean them, and we did all that, and I loved every minute of it. You know, we did things that didn't cost anything, but it filled our bellies. And it was fun, because we always made a competition out of it, you know, whoever gets the biggest fish. So anyway, me and my mom, she decided to spring clean, and she took down the curtains in the dining room. And I was in the kitchen, she was in the dining room, which is, you know, connected. There's a doorway there, and all of a sudden this mouse come out. And me and her are scared to death of mice. I still am. I don't want to see a mouse on TV. I don't want to see it in a cage. I don't want to see a rat. Oh, Lord. No. God, I can't handle him. Just talking about him gives me the creeps. So anyway, we're up on chairs. I'm up on the kitchen chair. She's in the dining room up on a chair, and the mouse is in the kitchen with me, not even by her. So, well, she's like, kill it, Angie. I said, Mom, it's dying. It's all drugged up and flopping around. I said, I ain't going to go up there and kill it. She's yelling at me to go kill this thing, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. You're high, because I'm not doing it. I don't care. What you say, you could spank me, beat me, ground me, I don't care, but I'm not doing it. And this is probably when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. And so she took the curtain rod while she's standing on the chair, extended it way out. And there she is, hitting the mouse, trying to kill it. So she hit it in the head, and he just kind of laid there. Well, he was still trying to move, so she was smacking it, and then it died, okay? So then she's going, Angie, go out on the porch and get that shoebox. Get a shoebox. And I thought, oh, okay. I'll quick go get the shoebox off the porch there. I'll grab it, and I'll just have to put the box over it. And then Dad will pick it up and deal with it when he gets home, because we don't want to see it. Oh, no, that's not what she had in mind. She was nuts. I was so scared. I was crying my eyes out when she told me what I had to do. She's like, okay, you hold the box, and I'm going to flip. She's still on the chair in the dining room, mind you. And she's got this long extension curtain rod. Like, no. How is she going to do this without... Oh, but no. Okay, I have to hold this box, and I'm crying because I am so scared. But back then, you listen to your parents, you do as they say, right? Okay. So I'm holding this box, and she goes, now, hold still, I'll flip it in there. And I'm like, are you high? There is no way I am going to let you flip no mouse up in the air to land in this box. Because, my luck, it's going to miss me, hit me in my chest, and fall down my shirt, and I'm going to have to deal with this mouse down my shirt. That's all I could think of. Oh my God. I sat there and cried and cried. She's like, just sit still. And I'm like, oh my God, Mom, I hate you right now. So she took it and she flipped it in the box. Thank God it did not touch me. Nothing. Thank God. But she would not get down off that chair till I put the lid on it, and then I had to put the box on the porch. I had to do all the dirty work, and I was just as terrified of that mouse as she was. And it's like the things I had to go through as a kid was just... I was... I hated it, and I was still never forgot that. There's a lot of things I didn't forget, you know? And it's like, oh my word. There's so many things that happened, but those are just some of the funny things. Oh, I tell ya. But there's a joke that we played on my dad, which was me and my brother. My mom canned pickles, and he and I were sitting in the kitchen. We each had a jar of pickles. We were having a pickle eating contest to see who could eat the most pickles or finish the jar. So we did that. And I don't even remember who won because we were too busy thinking of what. I like to eat the garlic out of the pickle jars. I love garlic. And I love the pickle juice. It's so good. I still drink pickle juice. When I eat pickles. I could sit and eat a whole jar of pickles. It's like, I don't know. And no, I'm not pregnant. That's just a thing. So anyway, we took that. My brother Wes would not let me eat the garlic. He's like, my mom made a fresh apple pie and there was only one slice taken out of it. So my brother's like, let's stick it in there and hide it and see if Dad gets it, you know? Let's just hide it in there. So we did. And then we forgot all about it. Well, one night, I was sitting in the TV room, and Dad come in out of the kitchen, sat down in the TV room, and he had a piece of pie. Didn't think nothing about it, because I forgot about it. And my brother was down there, and all of a sudden, my dad's eating that piece of pie, and he bit into that, and he took the piece with the garlic in it. And that was probably in there for a day or two, so it probably really tastes like crap. But he took that pie and spit it out on his plate. He's like, pooey, pooey, and he's spitting and he's mad, and he's dang near gagging, and he's like, pew, he goes, that shit is rotten. Oh, I was like, oh. Me and my brother, kind of after Dad went in the kitchen, we disappeared, and we were like, never, ever tell, pinky swear, because Mom finds out, or Dad finds out, we are dead. You know, the war prank is on. I'm like, oh no, we're never telling. So my mom come home from work, and she was gonna have a piece of apple pie. And she goes, where did that pie go? And my dad said, I threw it out. That shit was rotten. And my mom goes, I just made that the other day. It can't be rotten. He goes, yes, it was. It was rotten. I threw it away. He goes, boy, that tasted like shit. So he threw the whole pie away. Oh, my. Well, it was years after my dad passed away. My mom finally found out about this pie situation. She was talking about it, and me and Wes started laughing, and we told her what we did. She was like, you little shits. You made him throw away a damn good pie, and you ruined it. I was like, just one piece. We didn't think he'd throw it away. And she was so mad. And it's like, she goes, now you tell me this after years. It's like, yes, because what are you going to do to us now? We're older and big adults, so we ain't getting in any trouble now. So that was that story, and we never forgot that one either. It was hilarious. Oh, there's just so many funny stories to tell. I know. My dad built this chute down the basement in the bathroom. Made this box, put a hole in the floor so you could throw the laundry down it, and it would go right down to the basement by the washer and dryer. So we didn't have to carry clothes up and down and everything, and it was right down there, making it convenient. Well, my brother and me my mom would yell for us to throw down all the towels and stuff and get your clothes and throw it all down. So she'd stand there and wait, and she goes, is that it? And we're like, yep. Well, either we would take a glass of ice cold water or a big wet rag and soak it. And when she'd bend over that pile, she would get nailed either with a big wet wash rag or ice cold water dumped on her. It was like almost every time, and she would always forget. So one time, I had it, and I was standing there waiting for her to go by or bend over to get it, and I had a cup of water. My dad walked by, and I dumped it, and he got soaked. Oh, was he mad. I quick shut that cover, and I just sat there and said, oh, I'm dead. Dad is going to be so mad because what I did to him. All of a sudden, me and my brother are in the bathroom, and I'm scared, because I was scared of my dad. I mean, he'd spank you. He had a hand of steel. It was not, you could not sit for a week. But I was lucky because I was his Angie, so I didn't get very many spankings, so my brother got most of them. My dad didn't like hitting his little girl. But my brother got it. So anyway, there all of a sudden the hamper hood there is banging and going up and down, and I opened it to look to see what the heck was going on and what it was, and my downstairs there was a sink with a hose and everything and a big sink thing down there, and he hooked that hose up, and when I opened that lid and looked down, he was down below and looked straight up at me and sprayed me. I was drenched. He soaked me. He goes, how do you like that, you little shit? He goes, you want to do it again? I'm like, no. Oh. My mom could scare herself so easy. She'd be down in the basement and she'd hang up shirts. And all of a sudden she'd see a shadow move and stuff. Well, it's just the clothes, and she would be screaming. My dad's like, what in the world is she doing now? I said, oh, she probably scared herself again. We still scare her to this day. She's very easy to scare, and she hates balloons. She sees a balloon, and she's like covering her ears and all scared and stuff. So one night, my brother went and hid in the laundry chute, and waiting for someone to come into the bathroom, and he was going to pop out and scare them. Well, we knew it would probably be my mom, because my mom never got upset or anything. She would yell, but yet she'd laugh. So she knew us kids too well that we were going to do something, but she never knew what. That's the thing. She never knew what was coming, because it was never nothing the same. But my brother hid in that chute and waited till she was peeing. And it was around the corner was the toilet and stuff, so you couldn't see her. But he jumped up out of that thing when she was peeing, and she screamed and jumped off that toilet. Dang near fell in the bathtub. Oh my word. My brother said it was so funny. She wasn't happy, of course, but she always called everybody a a-hole. An ASS hole, you know. Oh. So yeah, we did lots of pranks and funny things and sense of humor wise, joking around. It was a lot of fun. So I think my problem is when my anxiety or anything gets up, the way to get out of it for me to deal with it is to make people laugh. And that way they don't see what's really going on with me. Because I don't tell anybody about it. I don't like to talk about it to my family or anybody. And I hide it a lot. I try to hide it. My husband gets frustrated with me. But I just tell him, you know, I can't help it, you know. Sometimes I do force myself to do things. I really do. And I try my hardest. But it's still a struggle. But the only way I get through things is having a sense of humor. And that way nobody sees what's going on with me. I hide it. I hide it from everybody because I don't want nobody to know. I don't think people understand what it's like to go through it day after day, years of this. And it doesn't get better. So far, it's not getting better. If anything, it's getting worse. Because I don't even like to leave the house. When somebody comes to the house, I stay up in my room. I don't want to be around people. I shut down, I hide. If I'm going grocery shopping, I want to go someplace where nobody knows me and there's not a lot of people. Or go late at night. Or my husband does the running because I don't like to deal with it. Because I'm already sweating and panicking before we even leave the house. And he's just like, I'll go. And I'm like, okay. Because he's a very, very outgoing person, people person. You know, and I'm jealous because I used to be that way. So, that's what I'm going through right now, and I haven't been sleeping much at all. Get a couple hours and I'm up, but now I'm sick too, so that doesn't help. I didn't go to my aunt's wake or her funeral this week. I just couldn't go. I had the anxiety and depression just fighting me. And I just went numb. I didn't think about anything, didn't care about anything, didn't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to anyone. Not on the phone. But yet I will go on the Whippet Chats and talk a little bit. Whoops! A little bit. But I know people can't see me, so